And there we are. Hot diggity dog. I did not intend to come on here. You might be saying, why is this guy in a hot dog costume? I did not intend to come on here in a hot dog costume. But it's almost Halloween for some of you, depending on where you live in the world. And I'm getting ready for a Halloween party, and anything and everything is possible. I always say that on this channel. It's totally true, but anything's possible. I bet you did not think that you would be watching a hot dog on a live video today, but you are. There you are. Here I am. I did not think I was going to be here. Anything's possible. How are you guys doing? This is a live Q&A. Right now, we're going to be talking about some of the craziest lottery news happening all around the world, but also taking your questions and guest suggestions. Of course, one of the things I'm doing on this channel is meeting and interviewing some people that have overcome the odds in life. Some of these people happen to be lottery winners. That's one thing that happened to me way back in the day. Many of you know this, but it's one thing I'm doing. But this is and I'm not just a hot dog today, guys. I'm a hot dog with a top hat. I'm a fancy hot dog. Just got back from some Muay Thai kickboxing today. Got back from crossed over the, what is the joke? I'm trying to I don't know. I just really felt like I felt like a wiener. I felt like a wiener. And if there are vegans watching this, vegetarians, that's okay with me, because they make hot dogs that are vegetarian. Yes, Neon the Phoenix. I am a hot dog. Okay. Well, at least for today. For today, I am. Yes. And we are going to be jumping into some crazy lottery news here in a second. There is Sorrel Fraser. If we can, hope everyone's having an amazing day. I hope you're having an amazing day as well. Thank you so much. And I do want to talk about costumes, because this is one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up. Is that there are people that claim lottery prizes. What do you guys think about this? In costume. Some people claim lottery prizes in costume. One of the most pronounced happened a few years ago. Someone that claimed not too long ago, he won over $1 million in Jamaica and in a Scream outfit. And there he is. You can see the GIF from this person dancing with the check, wearing a Scream mask, the ghost face mask. What do you guys think of that? If you had the option to claim a lottery prize wearing a costume, would you do it? Would you do it? That is the question. That is the question. And it seems like, okay, so let's get that off of there. We're going to jump into this live chat. I see Matthew Barnes. Hello, Matthew Barnes. I saw you dressed up. I saw a guy dressed up like a pimp at the Social Security office once. Wow. Well, what would you dress up like if you went to go claim a lottery prize? That's the question of the day. Would it be a hot dog? Would it be a ghost face from Scream? A hot dog. You're being a ham. X-ray. Oh, X-ray with the low blows. I'm a fancy hot dog today. Yes, costume, mystic world. Hello. So let's get into some of these. Awesome. Hello, Annabelle says awesome. Okay, so I want to get into a couple of lottery news that's happening here in the world. What is happening right now in the state of Arizona? We can bring this up. There's a Frankenstein ticket out there for those Halloween players in Arizona. It's going to be, there's tons of, what did they say? They said lottery, Halloween itch, Arizona lottery getting into the spirit of the season. $50,000 is the top prize for $5, and apparently there's several $50,000 tickets out there. So watch for that. Let's see. Where is this? So what do you guys, do you celebrate Halloween? What are you guys going to be? And what will you be when you claim a lottery jackpot? Those are the questions of the day. And what are your guest suggestions? I love checking out your comments. So All right, here we go. I would be a butterfly, says Abundance, 1967. Hi, hot dog. I'm ready to claim my lottery winnings. Labria Graham. Amazing, Labria. Are you going as yourself, or are you going to be are you going to dress up? That's what we want to know. Yes, Halloween is the best. Diana, it's great to see you. And I completely agree. And I have an interview, guys, that's coming up soon. Next on this channel, there'll probably be a preview coming this week, but coming early next week is with a lottery winner who won $1 million from the Powerball in 2018. He's been on My Lottery Dream Home. He's very much into manifestation and the law of attraction for people that are into that. But watch for that interview coming soon. I love Halloween. Why did Steve win the... Steve, what did you win, Steve? You have to come onto this podcast and tell us all about it. Nice costume. Thank you so much. You're looking... All right. You are looking hot. Glasses, purple, yellow, diamond, golden age, hero day movement. I love that. Thank you so much. How did winning the lottery publicly affect your dating? Have you dealt with trust issues because of it? X-ray. The answer to that is it absolutely did. It was so hard to trust people when I won the lottery way back in the day. It was really, really hard to trust people that they wanted me for the right reasons. So that's how it affected it. It made me, I had a way better dating life before I won the lottery. And then it wasn't a lack of people wanting to date. It was a lack of me, like up here in the brain of the hot dog, trusting people. But then I learned to overcome that. So thank you for your question. And let's get to a couple more questions here. Lotto weather map win. Gary Stinton. I love that suggestion. So we could sit there and say what all of the lotteries are all around the world and be pointing like a weatherman. I mean, we could do that. They are happening. And we could look right now. Let's take a look. I'm still getting into this fancy new software, and because I am a fancy hot dog, but let's take a look. The Powerball, as we speak, is what? 125 million? Not bad. Not bad. I can think of 125 million things to do with that. But okay, hi, says Patricia Louise. And let me guys, so actually I have a video coming out probably tomorrow about people that have claimed lottery prizes in costume. It's very, very interesting. Like if a place allows you to do that legitimately, would you do that? Would you claim in costume? Theoretically, if you win $1 million, 5 million, 50 million tomorrow, what will, if you have the choice, would you do that? Let me know in the chat, in this live chat, or in the comments below this video if this is no longer live. Watching from England. Amazing, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining from England. I've interviewed a couple lottery winners from England. I love England. I'm going to be interviewing more as well. And yeah, the Euro Millions, Euro Jackpot, super popular over there. What was the first thing you buy with your winnings? For me, it was a video game system. I've talked about that some on this channel, but that's what I was into. I was 21 years old. And that's where my mind was before it became a fancy hot dog. Okay, Mario, Tim, I think you are going to win again. You are practicing the law of attraction with all of your podcast interviews and lives. Who will you get to interview you? Mario, thank you so much for your comment. I mean, I will interview myself. But thank you for your comment. I love that. I think it'd be the best interview thus far on this channel, but I'm probably biased. You look good, by the way. Oh, Ricardo, shilly shally. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ricardo. Yes, okay. I would dress up as a witch. Christa would dress up as a witch. Watch out, Christa. A good way to stay anonymous. That's right. And in Asia, I don't know how many of you follow lotteries in Asia, but at least in China itself, people often claim lottery prizes in costume. I mean, it's a fairly common thing. They have to show up for the press conference. To do that, they have to claim it publicly, but they can wear a costume, and they often do that. So, would you do that if you had the choice? X-ray, the brain of the hot dog. So, how does a public lotto winner get through the game, good or bad? After winning so long ago, were you apprehensive about being public again? Yeah, I guess the answer is, I guess, yes, but I've participated in a few reality television shows, and I never, I've been in the public spotlight. It just wasn't on YouTube. So I have done stuff, but I was apprehensive about doing it, but I felt that it's something I should do. I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe that I was guided to do this and to interview people that are inspirational, people that have overcome the odds, people that have lived experiences that are worth sharing to the world. I love it. I love journalism. I love interviewing people like that. So that's what I'm doing. Watching from Texas. I'm 23 years old and living with my mom right now, and she told me to start moving out soon. Wow. Well, hello in Texas. Thank you for joining. And I wish you good luck if you're with the move, if you are moving. Love the costume. Can you win the lottery twice? Cynthia, Cynthia. Yes, it is possible to win the lottery twice. Some people have won the lottery way more than twice. There are people who have won the lottery many times. I made a video about it a few months ago. And yeah, it's a good question though. It is possible for sure. Hey Tim, been a while. It's been a while. Great to catch up with you live. Hot dog, luckiest man alive. Now this chat is on fire. The luckiest man alive is here in person. Stephen Lasters. Yes, I would definitely claim my lotto prize in costume. I love it, Stephen. What would you be? What would you be? I have a haunted. I have a haunted. I would have a haunted house. So you're saying if you won the lottery, you would move into a haunted house, I think is what you're saying. Do you guys believe in ghosts? Because I have been in so many different haunted houses. I produced a documentary about ghosts a few years ago, and haunted castles and all kinds of places around the world. And I think it's very fascinating. And which reminds me, if I can show this latest lottery ticket that is offered. Let me see if I can find this here. We have to. No, this is not the one. This is the Powerball. Get the power. This is the beauty of the live. All right. Let's get to, here we go. Share screen. I'm still learning this software. I may be a fancy hot dog, but I am still learning the software. I think this is it. This is not it, but we're going to talk about this guy because he's up. This guy apparently just won $1 million and from a lottery ticket from a few months ago. And so this lottery place this is from the Massachusetts State Lottery. This just happened. His moneymaker, his 15 million moneymaker was collected for months thanks to some house cleaning. So basically a house cleaner found this ticket worth $1 million and he wasn't aware that it existed. And then that happened. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but it's making headlines as we speak. So I thought it was pretty cool. Congratulations to that guy. So, and if he's watching, by the way, come on to this podcast. We want to meet you. We want to interview you. We want to hear all about it. I think the butterfly idea is spectacular, symbolic. You could do some rock. Okay. Well, I think I missed the first part of, I do love butterflies. Okay. Here's a comment. Macarena, thank you so much. She says, you're so kind and grateful, Tim. Such an inspiration. I can't wait to have our conversation regarding my lottery win and telling you how much I admire you. Regards from Chile. Well, thank you very much. That is so kind of you to say. And greetings in Chile. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for your comment. And thank you so much for your support. It really, really means a lot. Tim, President of the USA 2024 Toy Story 182. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. I could go on the campaign trail with this. How many costumes? How many costumes do you have, or is it just the dog? Brett Burnside. Brett, well, it's not just the dog. I have so many costumes. I am so into Halloween, and I love horror movies. I love all that stuff. So, yeah, watch out. I'm probably going to do a live next Halloween if you guys are around. I think it's next Tuesday. Tim, I am ready for my interview. Neon the Phoenix. Well, I'm ready for it too, Neon the Phoenix. Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. My skull is haunted. Whoa. All right. I can't. Here's a comment about I can't channel ghosts. Guess I just watched ghosts too often as a teenager. Okay. Well, that reminds me. This is what I was trying to get to earlier. There is a lottery ticket out there that I want to share with you guys. If I can, let's find this. It's maybe this one. Yeah, here we go. Bring it up. So it's a Ghostbusters lottery ticket in Oakland County. This woman won $500,000, Oakland County, on this Ghostbuster. It's Michigan, Oakland County, Michigan. She won this prize, and I think that's awesome. I mean, a Ghostbusters lot. I don't even play scratch tickets, and if I saw that, I would be tempted because I just think it looks like fun. So, all right, let's jump into this live, some more of these live chats. Buy a dream house, travel the world, and put money up for my kids' future. Arias, I love that plan. And do you think you have a better chances of winning the lottery if you buy your lottery tickets from a store that has sold winning lottery tickets? Diana, that's a good question. I mean, how does it feel to you? That's what I ask people, because it should be fun. And there's this whole debate. There's just an article that came out not too long ago. I believe it was this week, from the New York Times, about it noted how so many major, like huge billion-dollar wins have just come out of the state of California recently. And they had someone on there speaking about it. I think it was a mathematician, but don't quote me, but somebody, and he basically said that, look, that's just an anomaly. That's not necessarily, it happened, but that doesn't mean you can win anywhere, wherever you purchase the ticket. So it's not just people in California, but it is interesting that there have been so many huge wins out of California recently. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but let me know in the chat or below this video in the comments. I have a few interview suggestions. Robert Bailey, Manuel Franco, and Brad Duke. I love that, Mario. I love that very much. I will look into each one of those. So thank you very much. I absolutely will. I love that. I'm always looking for new guests. And I've said this before, but there are people, sometimes some of the guests that come onto this show, onto this podcast, initially started out from fans or people writing in with guest suggestions. And sometimes that's how it happens. So your suggestions really, really matter. So I really appreciate that. When I win 226 million jackpot, I'm manifesting I will do an interview with you and promote Bitcoin. Escape the Matrix. I love it, Escape the Matrix, and I love your name, by the way. The Matrix is one of the best movies ever. Mario, Halloween is going to be groovy this year for me, and my wife are going to be hippies. I'll buy a ticket for sure. Hello from Southern California. Mario, thank you so much. Hello, and I love that. I love everything about that. And I love that you have Bruce Lee on there too. Is the guy that is the cleaner found his ticket? Yes, Patricia, and we just talked about that, but it was a house cleaner, I believe, someone cleaning this guy's house that found this ticket worth $1 million that he wasn't aware of. And that's making headlines right now as we speak. Greetings from Ireland. I really enjoyed your interview with Dean Radin. Heinrich, Thank you very much, Heinrich. That means a lot. I'm glad that you enjoyed the interview with Dr. Dean Radin. We talked about, he gave his insights about all kinds of things, including manifestation, intuition, and the prospect of that as it relates to winning the lottery. Is a very interesting conversation. So you can check that out on the channel from a scientific perspective, because he's actually studying that type of thing through science. It's interesting. It's legitimately interesting. Tim, this is the best software. We love the new setup. Tracy, I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you so much, Tracy. Okay. Once you cash $1 million check, you are no longer a millionaire after taxes. Cookie and pie. Well, I mean, it probably depends where you win, but in the United States, they do tax lottery winnings pretty heavily. So you're right about that. But it can still be extremely life-changing, even winning $1 million. I mean, that can change a lot of things for a lot of people. Live Create Productions. Hi, Timothy, reaching out for advice. I'm an upcoming filmmaker and about to launch a campaign for an action fantasy I wrote. What advice could you offer? I have been working side jobs in to pay others. So I think you're asking so I've worked with an independent film and that realm of thing for quite a while prior to launching this YouTube channel. So I know a lot of people are here for lottery stuff, but to summarize it and keep it short, I'm a filmmaker and about to launch a campaign for an action I wrote. What advice could you offer? My advice is don't give up. My advice is pursue your dreams. Do it. Make it happen, because there's nothing stopping you but you. People make movies on dollars. Like, it doesn't you don't need a huge budget to make a movie. You really, really don't. And more importantly than that, the experience you get from doing it makes you a better filmmaker. It really does. And I've met so many successful independent filmmakers that did it on shoestring tight budgets. You don't need a big budget to make a quality movie, and you always get the experience. So that's my advice. Hopefully that helps you. Thank you so much for your comment. Very cool. Brett Burnside, thank you for your comment. Gary Stinton, congratulations. What are we congratulating Gary Stinton about? I'm going to have to go through the chat, especially since you won at a young age. Do you feel an extra motivation to stay healthy and live longer life to enjoy the financial award? Do other winners? F. Austin. That's a really good question, F. Austin. Thank you very much. So I only know the life that I have lived, so I don't know what it's like to win the lottery at age 65 or 70. I only know what I've lived, but speaking for myself, I mean, I do feel like whether you win the lottery or you don't win the lottery, I feel like our health, our mental health, our physical health is very, very important. And life is full of adversity. It's not like a straight line. Everybody thinks that, your life's going to go from start point to the finish point, and it's going to go in this straight line. You have all these things happening. Maybe you're going to get married. Maybe you're going to get a job doing this. You're going to do that. Everyone has this all planned out, but it's like a roller coaster, and you have to pivot. You have to be versatile and make the best of it. And our mindset really matters. So to answer your question, I do think that the way we live our lives is very important, physically and mentally, of course. Thank you for your question. Hi from Toronto. Okay, last interview with Sydney Bean was great. I've listened to it twice. Suede Knight, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the interview with Sydney Bean. So for those of you that might not have seen that interview, it's Sydney Bean won, I believe it was a $50,000 lottery on a scratch ticket from Christmas Eve from a game. She didn't even play the lottery. She won it and was gifted this ticket and won big, but she's gone on. She is a very successful TikToker, and she's had, tens of millions of views. At the time of the interview, one video was over 30 million views. I'm sure it's way above that now, but she got to speak about all of that and what it's like to be featured in the New York Times and all kinds of things. So if you're interested, check that. The latest interview that just came out almost last Friday, I believe. So you can check that out. But I have a new interview coming out too that will be out the beginning of this coming week with someone that won $1 million Powerball prize, who is very much into the law of attraction and manifestation. So watch for that. Please interview Brad Duke and Lerner West. Abundance. Thank you so much for the suggestions. I will definitely look into that. Thank you very much. And let's get down, see if we can get caught up. Yes, it was a great interview. Diana, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Hello in Wyoming. Hello in Wyoming. Brazil is here. I'm from Brazil. Can I play the North American lottery from here? So you as far as I know, you have to physically buy it in the United States, but we are going to get an expert on here to talk about that, because I know there are some ways to buy tickets online where someone will go in and physically buy a ticket, but I don't know if that can be done from a different country. So legally, I should say. So we're going to get someone in here to talk about that, that knows exactly. An excellent question. But there are lotteries all around the world that people win. And I've met and interviewed people that have won all kinds of prizes. But if you play responsibly, have fun with it. And remember, you have a chance, because it is true. What about law of assumption to win lottery competitors? Hey, what about law of assumption? That's one thing that we do talk about on this channel, because some of the winners, not every lottery winner I've met is really into that topic, but some of them are very much into manifestation and the law of attraction and swear by it, and as well as the law of assumption, including, watch this next interview coming up on this channel. This person is very much into that sort of thing. No, you can't. Here in Virginia, they will check your location to make sure you're a resident here. Purple Lava 77. I think you're talking about where you can purchase tickets from. So thank you. When you won, did it feel spiritual? Did it, because you have to have any profound realizations? GML. It felt very, very spiritual to me. It felt just like I was just floored. I felt like, because I had this vivid dream about it, and then it happened. And that type of thing has happened to me my whole life, not just with this lottery win, but it just was like, is this real? I felt like I was in a movie, living in a movie. Have you guys had those types of experiences? Because it happens to me. Hi, Tim from the UK. Hoping that some of your luck rubs off on me. Rachel. Hello, Rachel. Thank you for joining from the UK. Thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate that. Law of attraction is always working, says Mario. I had very clear, vivid dreams. I was walking in the streets of Buenos Aires in Latin America, and I've been told by 2 trusted psychics I will win Euro millions. Cheska Williams. Wow. Well, if that happens, Cheska, remember this hot dog. Remember this conversation you had with the hot dog on a live video, because this is a very important moment, because we're going to have to talk, you and me, on this podcast. And if anyone watching this wants to come on to this podcast in costume, that's okay with me. If anyone, in fact, I've already interviewed one person that it hasn't been published yet that is going to remain anonymous, but we can easily blur faces. We can disguise voices, or you're welcome to wear a costume. But Neon the Phoenix with a $1 super. Neon the Phoenix, thank you so much. She is a huge supporter of this channel, and I am extremely, extremely grateful. That means the world to me. Thank you very much, Neon the Phoenix. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are well. Thank you very much. You're too kind. Have you interviewed anyone? Oh, he bought the day before Suede. All right, here's the comment. Have you interviewed anyone using one of the lottery apps? Steve T. I don't think I have yet, Steve, but I'm sure that the day is coming, because people are playing that way more and more people are winning that way. So it will happen. But thank you for your comment. A big fan from Washington, D.C. A. Jones is here. A. Jones, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your support. Yo says, yo. Tim, What is your best advice for becoming wealthy? Tanner. Well, I mean, first of all, anything is possible. Sudden wealth does happen to people, whether it's inheritance or lottery or a number of other things. Those things are possible because your life can be turned on its head in an instant. But in the more conservative way of looking at it, my advice is to, um, invest, live conservatively, or at least within a budget, and have that mindset where you are growing something, where have that mindset and invest. And depending on how much you won or win or have, you don't even have to win anything. How much you have, then get financial advisors, I think, who are educated, who have a background in that sort of thing. Those things, I think, can be very important. My great grandma has the ability to see the future as well. Christa. Wow. That's amazing, Christa. Thank you for your comment. Can you how many people did you tell that you were going to win before you did? Luckiest man alive. I don't know, luckiest man alive, but it was quite a few. I told quite a few coworkers, friends. I started telling people that after I had that dream. And so uh a few come to mind in my head. So definitely a few people. So oh my gosh, Sheila L. Art with the $18 super. You are too kind. You are too generous to donate to this channel and support this fancy hot dog. And I'm extremely grateful. Thank you very much. That means a lot. And so Sheila says, when you set your eyes on your numbers on you winning the ticket, that moment, what were your thoughts? What was your feeling? So you're asking, when I set my eyes on the winning ticket, what was I thinking? What was I feeling? I believe that's what you're asking. And what I was thinking and feeling was that it was going to win. That's just the way I felt. Some people think that's a coincidence. A lot of people think that that's not, but that is what I felt. And that's why I told people that I felt like it was going to happen. And then I had all kinds of other crazy synchronicities and things happen in addition to that. But what I was feeling was very lucky, very in the moment. Like this was in my mind that it was just going to happen. And then, so when it did, it was extremely surreal. But thank you for your question. Have you always, and not only your question, but thank you for your super. That was so kind and generous of you. That was very, very kind and generous of you. And some people, if you're new to this channel, you might not know that the supers that are donated here go to pay licensing fees and help with editing behind the scenes and that sort of thing. But beyond that, it just means a lot to me. So thank you very much. That's very kind and generous. And that's an excellent question. Okay. Have you always been a positive person? JG. I think I've always been like a glass half full person for sure. But just like anybody, I faced adversity, but I do feel like your mindset really, really matters, how you view things for sure. What synchronicities did you have right before winning the jackpot? So I don't want to be too repetitive. I've said some of them a few times on this channel, but I won a card game, several card games that day after getting off work. There was a color-coded card game, so I was just blindly guessing, but I won practically every time. And I had other people tell me that they thought I was going to win, and so that's. But I had many other, and then I had a vivid dream after I had won, before I knew that I had actually won, that signified the end of something. And then I woke up to my father like banging on my door, telling me to get up because he knew that I had sold the winning ticket. Okay. I know. I'm sorry. I hope she rests in peace. So who are we RIPing in this chat room? That's what I want to know, because I think I missed that. Do you think people, all right. Timothy or Tim, why do you think people think they will be happy after manifesting a jackpot? Were you happy after fulfilled your list? Neon the Phoenix. Neon the Phoenix, thank you for your question. Why do I think people think I think for a lot of people, well, first of all, money obviously can solve certain stresses of bills, of stress of payments of bills. So in that sense, I think people think that it would really be a very positive thing, and it can be, it absolutely can be in that sense. There are studies out there that show, or at least they claim, because a study is a study. It doesn't necessarily mean this is how it is, but there are studies out there with people that have come across over a certain amount of money. So say they've come across like tens and hundreds of millions versus half a million or a million, then their happiness level it doesn't vary as much. That's what some people theorize. I'm not saying either way. I just think that happiness comes from within. And there are some extremely happy people that are not wealthy, tons of them. And there are extremely unhappy people who are wealthy. I mean, we see the celebrities, we see the people that are in the public spotlight that have depression or different things happen to them, yet they have like so much money, so much fame. But if that's that's not just what happiness is. Happiness comes from within. Those things can be positive for sure, but happiness comes from within. Okay, what's your favorite type of horror movie? Slasher, thriller, suspense? Suede Knight. That's an excellent question. My favorite type of horror movie is independent horror movie, because they can think outside of the box. And Hollywood movies oftentimes have to go by a certain formula because they know what is going to sell. And a lot of times it's kind of predictable, but I think independent is my favorite type. I love horror movies. So this type of year is and I want to see a horror movie with a hot dog, with a crazy person in a hot dog suit. Who are they saying so long to, farewell and stuff? That's what I'm wondering. Because we saw an RIP. Who is this? I want to know. Hit the like button, everyone. Brett Burnside. Brett, thank you for the support. And that is true. If you like this live stream, or you like any of the interviews on this podcast or any videos, then do hit the like button, because it helps tell the algorithm in YouTube that you like it, and then hence it can do better. So thank you very much for your support and for saying that. Winning the lottery would be a great relief. La Bria. Well, it's totally possible. I mean, people do win. So yes. Live Create Productions. Tim, what kind of daily mantras, manifestation, affirmations do you practice, if any? Thank you for your question. Thank you very much. What do I practice? So I'm very much into, since I'm now intentionally visualizing like my day, not only my day, but what I want to achieve. And then I do that. And I found that it's very effective. And a lot of people are really into that. A lot of athletes that I respect. And of course, I've interviewed some scientists and lottery winners on that topic on this channel, but I'm very much into that. I'm very much into prayer, because I'm a very spiritual person, which is a type of visualization. So I totally believe in that stuff. And it's beyond belief. It's not belief. I just know that if you put yourself in that state, then watch what happens. Okay. My favorites are the 80s horror movies. The 80s, the slashers. The 80s are amazing for horror movies. I think one of my favorite, I know, my favorite horror movie ever is The Shining, and I believe that came out in the 80s. So I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but I love it, says Drew. Okay. Christa's grandma is the one. Okay, so now there we have it. Okay, well, Christa's grandma has passed away. If that is true, and I'm not seeing a lot of these chats, so if that is true, then I'm very, very sorry for your loss, for how this affects the family, and I'm so sorry. And positive wishes to you and your family. Okay. Thanks, Brett. I forgot my bad thumbs up. Yes. Love the costumes. See, Soph. Amazing. Thank you very much. Just wait till Halloween, because there's going to be this is nothing. I almost didn't come on here in a costume, but I was like, well, there's so many Halloween lottery stories out there. And how often do you get to see a hot dog on a live video on YouTube? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So now you have. At least, okay. I hate Hollywood movies, says C. Soph. Okay. It's important to use affirmations that don't create resistance. Using questions like, wouldn't it be nice to be a jackpot winner, are a good example. Yeah, and that's what they say. They say to say it as if it is now. And that's what they say. I play all the time. I know when I hit, I'm going to lose friends. How do you deal with that? Steve T. Steve T. That's a good question. So after I won, I had my social structure was really, really shaken up. It really, really was. I lost some good friends, and some people were very supportive throughout the whole thing and very understanding, but other people that weren't in such a good place financially, that all of a sudden I felt like I wasn't viewed as just me. I felt like I was viewed as almost like an ATM machine, like a walking, talking ATM machine. And it took a little bit to learn how to deal with that, how to trust people, how to just, how to deal with being viewed that way by some people. So I love Evil Dead. Seesaw. That's an excellent. I have met a few people that have acted in that movie, if you're talking about the Rob Zombie one. So thank you for your comment. Hot dog, pumpkin, plushness. Yes. I love it. I love it. I subscribed when you had 15,000 subscribers. PNM. Amazing. Thank you so much. You are a veteran. You are a veteran. Thank you so much for your support. I'm glad to see that you are still here, and I'm so appreciative of your support. Thank you so much. How are the comments chosen? Nathan, how the comments are chosen, it's pretty arbitrary. I'm just I have this new software that I'm still learning how to use. And unfortunately, I don't see a lot of the comments, but the ones that I do see, I click on and bring them up. And that's what we're talking about today. So that's how we're chosen. So if your comment wasn't chosen, keep commenting, because maybe it'll be seen pretty soon. Have you ever seen the Sausage Party movie? I have not, but that would be an appropriate one for today. Thank you very much. Great underrated horror movie you'd like to mention? Great underrated horror movie. Oh, Suede Knight. That's a good question for people that are into horror movies. I just saw this movie a few days ago that is actually new. That's streaming as we speak, and it's called Fresh, which I think is appropriate because I'm wearing a hot dog suit today. But it's called Fresh, and I'll leave it at that. But it was pretty, it gets pretty intense. Okay. Pumpkin. All right. I see 222 a lot. Does this mean anything? WeWorks. Thank you for your question. 222. I mean, some people are really into numerology and that sort of thing. After I interviewed Mark Houghton on this channel, he's a YouTuber, but he's very much into quantum mechanics, quantum physics. He talks about these things quite a bit. And he mentioned that. And after he mentioned that sort of thing, I started seeing repeated numbers like 111 or 333. And so it's interesting. What does that mean? You tell me. Hello in Australia, Apollo. Thank you so much for joining from Australia. I appreciate your support. 222 is an angel number, says A. Jones. Good question. DDIME 290. Okay, where's that question? We missed that one. But if that person writes again, we'll try to pull it up. Can you talk us through the process of dreaming about winning the lottery, please? Charlie Tango. Charlie, so I'm not going to go too in depth in this live because many people have heard my story about that. But for me, I felt I was in a very relaxed, meditative state, and I really felt sort of hopeless and when it came to finances, and opened myself up to what I believe is God or the universe, that sort of thing. And I had this out of body type of dream that I had won the lottery, that had already happened. Like it had already happened. And it was so realistic that when I forced myself to wake up back in my body, that it took, a little bit to understand that it hadn't happened. It felt very real to me. So that's the abbreviated version. Although not technically a horror movie, Pie is great. Brett Burnside. And thank you, Neon the Phoenix. Yes, we love Neon the Phoenix. Someone in Detroit, Michigan is going to win the Powerball. Jesse Williams. Is this person's name Jesse Williams? That's the important question. And if it is, come on to this podcast, Jesse. We want to talk to you. Why are all my comments coming up? Well, I don't know. I guess this is your lucky day. Okay. Was the first All right. I think it means that whatever meaning you put on it, the official meaning for 222 is balance from what I've read. Balance. Okay. OMG. DDIME 290 dropping the OMG. Okay. Hey, Tim. Love the hat cap off your dog suit. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. A Jones with the 3. Talk about 3 repeating numbers. There we go. 333 super. That is so amazing. A Jones, thank you. From this side of the screen with a hot dog, with a fancy hot dog looking at you to your screen. Thank you so much. That you are too generous. You are too kind. That means a lot. Thank you very much. Love the vibes on your channel. You're very humble. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. A Jones. Your dream was precognition, GML. Thank you for your comment, GML. Precognition, intuition, that sort of thing is extremely, extremely fascinating. Tim, how long do you think you'll run this channel? That's a good question. Thank you so much for your question. And I don't really have a timeline. I don't have a timeline. I love it though. I'm passionate about it. This channel is a labor of love. I love interviewing people. It's my passion. It's my burning desire. It's like, I just get so much satisfaction from it. So I'm not going away anytime soon. I'll tell you that. And for people that listen to podcasts and they're not on YouTube, then it's on this podcast. Lottery, Dreams, and Fortune is also on Spotify, Amazon Music, a number of different places. So it's not just here on YouTube, although YouTube, I was here on YouTube first and I love YouTube. And so I'm definitely going to stick around here. Sorrel Fraser. Tim, it's good to see you. First of all, Sorrel, thank you so much. When is your next interview coming out? Sorrel Fraser, probably early to mid next week. Probably Wednesday or Thursday. There'll probably be a preview that comes out towards the end of this week. But it's with someone that won $1 million or a $1 million jackpot Powerball prize, who is very much into manifestation, the law of attraction. And it's very interesting for people that are into that. And even if you're not, I think it's a really interesting interview. Can you interview Kurt Panhouses? He's an attorney that's represented a few lottery winners. And yes, I would love to interview him. Thank you for the suggestion. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments or in this live chat. Sheila, thank you for your question. Do you think you have great intuition? If so, what is the one moment to make you think that? Sheila, thank you for your question. Sheila, like tons of my life, I have had dreams about things, like not every day, of course, but often, like things about, I can correlate it to real life, things that before they happen or as they're happening, or beyond that, you just have a hunch, and you think about somebody, and then all of a sudden you get a text message or a phone call or an email. They pop up in your life all of a sudden. Those things happen to me fairly often. And I don't think it's like some sort of superpower. I think it's natural. I just think that it's some scientists are studying it, and I've interviewed a couple on this channel. I'm going to be interviewing more, but I think it's natural, and I think it's really interesting, and I think it's important because it happens. It seems like so many winners have strange stories about winning. Coincidence? Nathan, thank you for your comment. Master Manifester Mindset says, interview Esther Abraham Hicks on manifestation. Thank you for the suggestion. I know some people are really into Abraham Hicks, so thank you for the suggestion. Oh, yes. Okay. It's a natural ability we all have, just most people have theirs on mute. Purple Lava, thank you for your comment. And that's one thing I interviewed a few months ago. I interviewed someone about psychic phenomena and that sort of thing. Teresa Chung. She's a dream expert. She's written several best-selling books, and she's very, very interesting. And I remember one thing that she said was, if you are seeking to become more intuitive and that sort of thing, then one of the prime times is like right when you wake up in the morning. So if you wake up and just immediately look at your phone or turn on the TV or let your mind be taken away by something else, then it just sort of shuts it down. At least that's what she said. At least that was one takeaway that I got from the interview. So I found it interesting. Where did you get that hot dog costume? And is it for Halloween? Martin, so I don't know exactly where I got this hot dog costume, but it's, I'm a fancy hot dog, not just a hot dog. I'm a fancy hot dog. I have to differentiate there and get all those wrinkles out. But let me tell you, this fancy hot dog, I've been a fancy hot dog for Halloween before, but I don't think I'm going to be a fancy hot dog this year. But I thought I should for this live because anything's possible. Do you ever get deja vu? Nathan, absolutely. I get deja vu. It's crazy when that happens. Have you guys had that when you're like, I feel like this has happened before? That has happened to me many, many times. I will email you when I win the jackpot. Promise. S. I look forward to that, S. Thank you so much. This is so cute. Purple Lava. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you think so. Timothy's about the hot dog life. That's right. The hot dog life. I'm a wiener. Am I going to win the lottery? Daniel. Well, Daniel, are you playing the lottery? It is possible. It is possible. Play responsibly if you do. Sorrel Fraser, would you like to go into space? Sorrel, thank you for your comment. I would love to go into space. I think it's, think about this. If you accept this, I don't want to get too deep for the sake of this chat. I'm not going to get too deep here, but think about this. On planet Earth, we are part of this Earth. We are part of something so much bigger than what's in your head. We're part of something so much larger. If you were to go outside of the Earth and look at us, we're just this little tiny blip, but we're all connected physically and energetically. Like, this is all one. We're all stuck. It's all one. So to have this illusion that we're all separate, but it just seems crazy to me. All right. Please get deep, Tim. That's why you're here. Come in, Sunshine Bear. Thank you for your comment. Well, I'm not going to get too deep, but I will say, to get a little deeper than that, is that quantum mechanics, quantum physics does show that it's not necessarily how we perceive it in the 3D anyway. So, energy, what feels like this camera right here, this lens, everything, this chair I'm sitting on, this hot dog costume, this hat, if you go down to the way down, zoom in with a super powerful microscope, you will see that this is not even solid. It's not solid. That's just how we perceive it. And I'm not making this up. It's not pseudoscience. That's quantum physics. So I'm not going to get too deep, but it's interesting. Okay. Be nice, GML. Okay. Go back. All right. After winning, I only have a couple more minutes here, guys, but I'm loving these comments today. This is amazing. After winning the lottery jackpot and finishing the paperwork, how does the payment work after choosing the lump sum? The transporter warrior. That's an important question, transporter warrior. And what I usually tell people is that it depends upon the location. It depends upon where you win because the rules do vary. And if you're talking about the United States, which it looks like you probably are, then the different states have different rules. So I would refer to the lottery office for the state in which you're playing the game. Timothy, the key to everything is gratitude. Jib, thank you very much. Speaking of gratitude, and I'm not just saying, I'm sincerely feel that way. Thank you very much. I believe gratitude's very important. We're so lucky just to be alive. And for people that have their health, I mean, that's so lucky. And you have I've said this before, but you have a better chance of winning the lottery millions of times over than you do being born with your exact genetic makeup. That's true. I really like this channel. You have high vibes. It's contagious. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. Thanks. Okay. That's a fancy addition to the hot dog costume. Thank you for the laughs. Yes. And I do. Health is better than winning, honestly. Brett. Yeah, Brett. I think, Brett, you do have a point. I mean, go talk to somebody that's in the hospital. I mean, or if you've been in the hospital watching this, like, talk to someone. Like, our health matters, mentally and physically. Yes, dapper hot Nathan. Thank you very much. Tim, you're a jackpot wiener. Oh, Neon the Phoenix. I love that. Thank you very much. I love that. So on that note, guys, I have a new podcast interview coming out early to mid next week. Watch for that with a $1 million jackpot Powerball winner who has been on a very popular program, My Lottery Dream Home, and he's just a very interesting person. So watch for that interview coming next week. If you missed the interview with Sydney Bean that was just released last week, who is also a lottery winner, she won $50,000 on a scratch ticket, and I got to ask and learn how it changed her life in some huge ways, including that she made some videos about it on TikTok that took off, went extremely viral. She got an article in the New York Times. Her story is very inspiring, very interesting. Check that out with Sydney Bean if you have not seen that. But there's so many interviews coming soon with lottery winners and with others. Remember that anything and everything is possible. It's completely true. And if you have guest suggestions, put those in the comments below this video or questions. I love checking out your comments. I really appreciate your support wherever you are in the world. It means so much to me. And I'm going to, I have to get off of here, but I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you soon.